Well, thank you very much. So let me quickly take you to the other side of the world. And so that's a picture of a national park in Nepal. And you see probably an American couple on an elephant going through the national parks. Now, it's very romantic when you think of 11% of Nepal being a national park about 30 years ago. But there was a constant conflict between the park and the people. And so when you studied exactly what the problem was, the local people basically had two needs. So one was fuel, which was to basically cook and to take care of their household needs. But the second was also to graze their animals. And so here is a technological application. So this is what a methane gas plant looks like. And so basically you take the animal manure and also the human waste, and it goes into this tank, and so you generate methane. Now at the household level, if you generate enough methane, basically it makes it redundant for people to have to go to the national park to collect firewood. But secondly, because you need to stall feed the animals for the manure, you don't graze them anymore. So it's quite a good idea. But the point about 180 degrees is that we always define these people as stakeholders, and so you could not really pay for these plans. So what we needed to do was make them shareholders of the national park. And so by changing the National Parks Act, they basically owned 50% of the revenue generated by the national parks. And so today we built 240,000 of these units and expanded the national park system from 11% to 20% of the total land area of Nepal. So just a quick note also, in the mountainous areas of Nepal, 1 out of 10 Nepali households today have their own hydropower. And the notion that it took a big company or engineers and a lot of sophisticated people to build hydro plants. So the change was that we demystified the technology and enabled local people to build their own community hydropower plants. So the result is people have a much better quality of life in this hydropower plant operated. The third example I just wanted to give was in Kathmandu Valley, because it's a valley, there's air pollution as a problem. And so these three-wheelers some years back were all diesel and very polluting. And so basically the response, as we heard in this conference, was to weigh a lot of disincentives. And so what we did basically was to weigh all the incentives that a company would need in order to convert the three-wheelers into electric. And so by constantly piling up the necessary incentives that a company would need, so today all the diesel three-wheelers in the Kathmandu Valley are all electric. And so they run through the streets of Kathmandu. The last example I wanted to give was, this is a simple solar home lighting system. And so you can see a 3-watt solar panel stores electricity in 3 nickel metal hydride batteries in that little box. And so with this kind of energy, you can have 2 sets of LED, sort of white clean light. But then it's also enough to play 2 radios in the house. And now we've tweaked the system so that it also charges the mobile phone. So the way the mobile phone will expand is because you have a charger. But then the latest application I'm working on is basically you can mix salt water into a little bottle, and if you put an electrode and charge it with this system, you can get chlorine. Now 1 liter of chlorine is enough to treat 4,000 liters of drinking water in rural Nepal. So just a few examples of sort of 180-degree thinking. Thank you.